Hi, my name's Craig, and welcome to Devil's Advocate. What's Devil's Advocate, I hear you ponder? Well, we take a contentious topic and are each given a side to fight for, in an attempt to open our minds, and hopefully yours, to the other side of the argument. Sides are determined by the flip of a coin, with heads always being affirmative, tails always negative. Simply put, our beliefs are determined by the flip of a coin. With me today is Hayley, and we'll be discussing, is Doctor Who better than Sherlock? Sherlock, the BBC series. Grab your bow ties and your deer stalkers, your screwdrivers and your trench coats. It's time to settle a debate that all 15 to 20-year-old women on Tumblr truly care about. Whether it's the two-hearted man from Gallifrey that really rules the BBC, or if it's a detective from Baker Street who will win out in the hearts and minds of the common people. Without having the backup of a John Watson or a Rose Tyler, for that matter, not even a Lestrade or a Rory, we will each make our case to definitively prove, is Doctor Who a better show than Sherlock? So how are you feeling about this one, Hayley?
I don't know. I feel like I can argue either way because I am a fan of both of them. Yep. There's probably one that I'm a smidge more for, but yeah, we'll see how it goes.
No, don't tell me. Not yet. But yeah, no, I'm very much the same. I like both shows. I think both have their merits, but I do actually think one is better than the other. So fingers crossed that the coin flip goes in my favour.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll see.
Let's have it. Let's go.
Yeah, sure.
Ready?
Yeah. Do you want to do you want to tell me about the coin?
I would like to tell you about the coin. Okay, so it's an Australian 20-cent piece, and it was made in 1982.
Perfect. And so obviously heads will be defending Doctor Who and saying Doctor Who is going to be the best one, and tails will be Sherlock.
Okay. Are you ready for this? Okay. Ready? I don't even know if that flipped.
It flipped a couple of times.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to call it?
Yeah, we go with it.
Heads.
Sweet. All right.
Okay, so I'm Doctor Who.
Yes, you are.
I like Doctor Who. Everything's Doctor Who, am I right? You know?
That's solid. It's a solid point. It's a solid point.
The end. No. Okay, so Doctor Who is like almost an institution. It's like a massive pop culture phenomenon. It has been going since 1963, and obviously in 2003 celebrated its big, 50th anniversary, which was really amazing. So I argue that it is better because it has a massive following, and it's an entity. It's this big thing, like so much merchandise, so many people talk about it. It's inclusive of all these different generations, and that is why Doctor Who is better.
I think if you're looking at Doctor Who and you're defending it as being better than Sherlock just based on like the historicness of it, but like just the fact that it's running for so long, I don't think that necessarily proves it's better. I think that shows that it has legs. Like it can last for a while, but like a lot of crappy things go on for a long period of time. Like Doctor Who, in this case, it's had its ups and downs. Mm-hmm. And as far as being a better show, I think if you take Sherlock's episodes, so far there's been 10 episodes, 3 in each season, and then the Christmas special. If you look at the quality level on average of those episodes and take the quality level of all the Doctor Who stories, I think Sherlock would be miles ahead of Doctor Who. I think that is what makes Sherlock a better show than Doctor Who.
I understand that because I still think Doctor Who is better, but I understand that the quality, or maybe say intelligence value of Sherlock might be different, but you need to think about, doesn't it make it a better show that Doctor Who is attracting the audiences of so many different generations? Like, obviously it has some type of appeal. It has that, it is like, so since the start in 1963, it gained a lot of popularity. Obviously it had a little bit of time off air, but it has it's so popular amongst so many different people that how could that not be considered better? Like, I don't know that many people. I know a lot more people who watch Doctor Who than they watch Sherlock.
Yeah.
And I know a lot more people who have more of a passion for Doctor Who, you know, the merchandise and everything, than what they do for Sherlock. So
I know a lot more people that watch Big Bang Theory than watch, say, The Sopranos or Big Bang Theory and Breaking Bad. Like, again, you're going back to the metric of how many people are watching a show and how long a show's been running. Big Bang Theory's in its 11th season. I fucking hate you, Big Bang Theory.
Bazinga!
So, like, that's, again, pointing out, like, longevity and stuff like that. And, like, if you go by... It's going to sound really, really up myself, but if you go by, like, the average masses appeal of something, yeah, if it has a broad spectrum appeal, it's going to attract more people in. That's just the nature of it. But I don't think that necessarily makes it better. Sherlock, the writing is just so tight and condensed. There's never been a single farting alien on Sherlock. Like, that's never been a focal point of an episode where they have to deal with a gassy monster.
maybe it should be.
maybe it should be. So Sherlock running around London and trying to hunt down a gassy monster.
Damn these fart monsters, fart aliens.
Like, oh, the calcium in the air. It's good. No, it's just like it's grounded in reality, which in my opinion, just like lends a bit more significance to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's great that you can have all these metaphors, like this planet is representative of this and that, and I think Doctor Who can be really, really ham-fisted in its metaphors for stuff, and like it's like really beats you over the head with it. Like there was I didn't mind the episode, but there was an episode last year with the 12th Doctor, and it was the Zygons, and it was all about like the Zygons were like living in their own little Zygon communities and then falling into extremism and everything like that, and it was just hitting us over the head with like, this is an allegory for Islamic terrorism, and I was like just sitting there going, oh, okay, this is an odd choice for like a platform to make this point. Like, it's a kid's show first and foremost, even though I'm not a kid and I still do watch Doctor Who. First and foremost, it's considered a kid's show. At the very least, I'd say early to mid-teens. Whereas I think the subject matter of Sherlock lends itself to being better, and it is better because of it.
I disagree. I feel like that's maybe how it originally started. Like, I know that the first few like seasons of the very original Doctor Who was started out as almost like a science show
like
for
a
kids.
History, yeah.
For kids to try and get them into it. So I know that it originally did start like that, but it has definitely evolved from then. I personally went to the 50th anniversary episode. There was kids there, there were old people there, I was there, we're all having a great time. So I know that I'm like really flogging the fact that it has like a broad spectrum of an audience, but I feel like
says something about.
I think that it says something about it because I kind of know the only people that I really know who really watch Sherlock are 20-somethings.
Yeah.
And so I feel like there is something really special about the fact that it doesn't have such a little niche target audience. It really, over years, over different generations, it really has captured the hearts of so many different people. I mean, I think the other thing is point to say is that it could be better in a different way to Sherlock. I mean, obviously Stephen Moffat has his hands in both of them. Both pies.
He's a greedy man, Stephen Moffat.
Yeah, so it's like not like they've got a crappy writer for Doctor Who because it perhaps isn't as complex or intelligent. It is a different writing style. It's a different target audience. So I don't think that, just because the subject matter of Sherlock is a bit darker, a bit more intellectual than Doctor Who makes it any better.
I think when you have you brought up Stephen Moffat. I think Stephen Moffat at his best, it was in Doctor Who, when Stephen Moffat was at his best in Doctor Who, was when he was using most of the techniques that he employs regularly with Sherlock. Like, if you watch Matt Smith's first Doctor Who episode, it's almost a Sherlock episode. He doesn't have his sonic screwdriver, he doesn't have his TARDIS, he's like using his head. There's even that point in the episode where he like freezes time, and he's like, I'm not sure if do you remember the episode? Yeah, and he's like trying to track who's not looking at the supernova or whatever's happening in the sky at the time, and he uses like a very mind palace-y type thing, and that's like one of the better episodes of the new series, written by Stephen Moffat, and I think Stephen Moffat kind of like started his craft in Doctor Who, and he perfected his craft with Sherlock. I think like over time he got much better, and like if you look at like the second season of Sherlock's stronger than the first season, but that's even the first season of Sherlock's stronger than I'd say the fifth season of Doctor Who, where Stephen Moffat's not. He's great for individual stories, but for overarching stories, like over 12 or 13 hours, depending on how long the Doctor Who season runs, it gets very all over the shop. But with a very tight 3-episode run, I think that's Stephen Moffat at its best. I think that's Sherlock at its best. So I think that's why Sherlock is better than Doctor Who. Like it's more compact, it's neater, and it's just better in that way.
I understand what you mean by that, but you have to remember as well that they're obviously two very different shows, and how they are set out is very different as well. So some of the things that you can tie up and make it neat and compact in Sherlock will work because it's only the 3 episode. Is 3 or 4?
3 episodes.
3 episodes.
Yeah.
In comparison to Doctor Who kind of has like the 13 episodes.
Sort of thing.
So there are different writing styles, and so I don't think that the writing styles can really be that comparable.
I think they can be compared when you're like comparing quality, and like especially in a discussion of which is better. I think like it'd be weird to say, oh well, we can't compare that because they're different lengths of time, but that's what we're doing. We're like comparing the shows themselves.
But it depends on what you refer to as better. Like, is better its mass appeal, is better its like how much the characters are loved, how much the show is loved. You know, people dress up as Doctor Who all the time at conventions and everything. Better doesn't necessarily mean quality.
Yep.
Better is like an overall, overarching, quality, characters being loved, the spectrum of the target audience. Yeah, better and
so
quality don't.
We should
there's
have
no direct correlation.
Next week's topic is like define better. What does better mean to you, sort of thing. No, but like I get that. Like you're saying, like it's an overarching thing. I would still argue that even considering all that, like it may lose some points on like global appeal, I'd say. But in terms of the quality of the product itself, as well as like what it says, I think a huge mark of how good something is how well you can connect and relate to. And I think like John Watson's more relatable and connectable to than any of the companions in Doctor Who. And I think that they're very... You can draw a parallel between a lot of things in Doctor Who and Sherlock, like companions and like the Mind Palace and all that sort of stuff as well, and the crazy outfits. But if you look at the companions as well, you feel more part of Watson's world because he's just like caught up in this whirlwind because it's a relatable topic. It's a relatable thing that you can imagine what would happen to yourself if you met this person who is very real, grounded in reality, but just absolutely brilliant. And I think with Doctor Who, like the Doctor's obviously a brilliant person and like capable of taking you anywhere in time and space. It's hard to still relate to that. You can always go, oh, like imagine if this happened, but like it's outside of the realm of possibility. And so I think like you can relate more to Watson and therefore relate more to Sherlock.
I understand that, but also I don't think that you watch Doctor Who for its relatability. It is about an alien in a blue box. I feel like a lot of this is my personal like opinions and stuff as well. But like, I feel like I have had discussions like where would I go, what time period I'd want to go. I feel like just there's so much to talk about. There's so many what ifs. There's so many put yourself in that scenarios.
Well, that's why it's gone
comes
for
with
like
Doctor
50
Who.
plus years.
Yeah.
Because like it is kind of like I have to give it to the showrunners. Like the introduction of regeneration is probably like the single most.
It's
like,
so smart.
single most impressive introduction of like a character ability, because like that show could go literally forever. if they wanted to. But they introduced that because they never intended to do it. And this is another problem that I have with Doctor Who is it feels like they're making shit up as they go. They don't have like an overarching ethos or like method or anything like that. They introduced regeneration because the first Doctor got so hard to work with. He was going senile he was going senile, and then he'd go on holidays and while they were trying to film and like he was just like difficult to work with, so they were just like, oh fuck it, we'll just get rid of him, but we've got this show that we want to keep going, so how are we gonna get a new actor in? That's fine, and like just bring that in. I just think like a lot of Doctor Who's decisions are influenced by like outside politics rather than like what's necessarily best for the show. And like you can say that with Sherlock, but the only thing that's happened with Sherlock is like we have to wait 2 or 3 years for a season, which is devastating because I looked it up. It was like the last season 3 released in like the start of 2014, which feels so long ago. But Doctor Who, like, it's all about like what's going on in the background changes what happens in front of the camera, and like it's noticeable at some points as well. Like you didn't have Christopher Eccleston at all in the 50th anniversary editions, like because he just couldn't stand the backroom politics of the BBC and all that sort of stuff. And on that level, it really impacted the show. Like I was really looking forward to seeing like, will they get him? Like, could they get him? They couldn't, and it was really sad.
I understand what you're saying by that, but from a show that started in 1963, so we're over 50 years now, it has to evolve with the times. It have to evolve with what things are going. So yes, maybe they do put a few different things in that it is a little bit kind of making the story kind of go forward. You know, sometimes they could be a little bit iffy, but this is a show that started in 1963. Did they ever expect it to be this big at such a later date? No. You have to expect that some type of evolution, some type of, you know, bringing different elements in to make the story so, like, last so long.
Yeah.
Like you have to expect that. I know it potentially could be annoying for different people, but there's certain things that you have to expect to come from a show that's lasted so long. In comparison, I really wouldn't believe that they expect Sherlock to last. I mean, it can't last 50 years, but I don't expect it to last a very, very long time. Obviously, Martin Freeman and Benedict Cumberbatch are movie stars in their own right. They're doing other stuff. So it just the evolution that has gone through in Doctor Who is just never going to have to be in Sherlock because it is going to be a lot smaller time frame. One thing, I don't want to bash on Sherlock, but I mean that's what I'm here for.
Yeah. I like that.
The fact that you have to, I mean, I know they have so much stuff to do, but the fact that you have to wait so long between episodes, I feel like it really kind of diminishes it a little bit, because I feel like you need to be like, oh man, what happened? Like, I can't remember all of this stuff that happened. And then you need to go back through all the episodes. Or if you don't, you start watching the new episodes and you're like, oh man, I can't, like, what happened here? Like, you don't remember all the ins and outs of it. And I think that they probably have lost a lot of people to watching it, because people are just like, oh man, like, I can't be bothered keeping on top of this. Like, it's been 2 years later, like...
Well, if it was, like, run by the Doctor Who screenwriters, they would have killed off Sherlock and brought back his brother, or, like, they would have changed his actor somehow and just be like, oh, just move on with it, like...
But I feel like it's not about, you know, there's certain... Because of it not being real, like, obviously it's about aliens, there's certain things that you can do in Doctor Who that totally work that what you couldn't be able to do in Sherlock. So I don't think that that's fair to say that they would completely change different things around, have all these different things happening, because you can't suspend your reality and change things up too much in that particular environment. So I disagree with that.
Fair enough. Well, I'm happy to call that. Yeah. How do you feel you went?
I was really worried about coming up against you. Like, if anybody's seen any of the
I'm not worried now. Fuck that.
Coming up against you, but I think that it did help that it was something that I was passionate about, and I am passionate about Sherlock, and I would have, come up with
for that one there
that as well. But I am a Doctor Who girl.
Yeah. I'm also Doctor Who. I don't think have we had one where the two people got opposite ones to what they actually believed? Mm-hmm. No, because I'm also Doctor Who. Love Sherlock
same.
a ton, and I'm so excited for it to come back on. But I think the scale of Doctor Who and how it's still able to be relatable.
The phenomena in Sherlock is just not there compared to what it is in Doctor Who.
And like it's like takes a more subdued route, and I think it does hit home sometimes as well, like more impactful when it's like a more personal story. But then with Doctor Who, you can have those ridiculously like blown out things and then have a personal story, and it means so much more because it's like, oh crap, like they're having a really like in-depth personal story now, if you get what I mean.
I also feel a lot more connected to it because, I mean, I'm pretty sure Dane in his private Instagram thingamabob has a photo of me being like a selfie with tears streaming down my face because it was the episode I watched when Matt Smith left.
Yeah.
So that got me so bad. I find that I'm very emotional. Like when Amy and Rory left, that just like got me so much. And I just don't feel like I have that connection. I know you're not meant to have much of a connection with Sherlock because of his
aloofness.
Yeah. What is it? What does he always say? He's like socio.
He's a high functioning sociopath.
Yeah. So obviously you're not meant to have that type of connection with him, but some type of slight more lovability would be good.
Yeah, I've it's pretty sad. I've cried a fair few times at Doctor Who, like bubbling mess of tears before as well, which is not great. And actually last night I got trapped in a loop of watching YouTube videos, and like it was like at 12 o'clock night I had a drink and I was just like I was watching the David Tennant in a bar with Wilfred Mott, and he was just talking about like when he regenerates he dies and someone goes walking off with his life, and I was sitting there going, don't do it, don't go, man, don't go, David Tennant. And then so there's the emotional moments in Doctor Who I think have more strength than the Sherlock ones.
I agree. Sure.
So how did you think we went? Anything that we missed? Who did you think had the better points? Just your basic thoughts, just pop them down below.
And make sure you like and subscribe because you'll get a lot of new videos. We've got unboxings, we've got Too Much Popcorn, we've got Devil's Advocate. So
this one. That's this one.
This is what you're watching now.
That's this one.
The thing that you're watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. And if you have any ideas of what we should do for the next Devil's Advocate, please let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your opinion. Also, perhaps you can pair us off, see who you want to fight for what you've come up with.
Fight. It's good. That's fun. It's good fun.
Actually, I just came up with a great idea.
Yeah?
Yeah? We should have a Hunger Games style. Everyone has cameras on their head. Anyway, we'll work on that when you're not around.
The kill cam. New idea for a video next week, and then no more videos because we'll all be dead.
Yeah.
Great. And next time we've got the great Santa debate. Should we be telling our kids about Santa Claus? And remember, having a different opinion does not make you an asshole. It just makes you an advocate. Thank you.
What do you mean about Santa?
Huh?
Y'all ready for this? Like and subscribe. Facebook.
Gotcha.
Thank you. Is that on?
Yes.
I felt like I was at the mum bear. Just like the baby sneezed and I'm just.
Hi.